Do you think that you're not ready for the Speak 28 by 28 challenge? I've got 5 scenarios to share with you that may just indicate that, yeah, you're more ready than you think. Hi, I'm Lindsay, a language learning expert passionate about helping you learn languages better. And in this video, I'm going to share with you who the Speak 28 by 28 challenge is perfect for. If you've been watching this mini series so far and you're like, yes, it's perfect for me, I've been meaning to join, do so now at the link in the description. Or you can visit lindsaydoeslanguages.com/scenario number 1. You understand a lot, but you still can't speak. So we've talked in this series so far about the possibility that you may well be feeling, because it's pretty common, that perhaps you're very input heavy, but you're output starved. So there is a lot going in, you're showing up, you're doing all the right things, but you're not getting enough output. And I really feel that in this scenario, it's very common to feel that you don't need something like the Speak 28 by 28 challenge, because you feel that you're already pretty good at the language and you understand a lot. You just need to do the practice, but there's something there, right? You're not doing the practice. So if that is the case, if you know that you're not doing the practice, you feel like you know what to do, but there's a gap, then the challenge is for you. Because not only will you have the chance to build that solo speaking habit over the 28 days of the challenge, you'll also get those daily video lessons. There's probably something else that you're missing that is stopping you from speaking more. Because if you understand a lot already, there is something that means that you're not speaking. And it could be different for everyone. It could be you are feeling awkward, you're feeling the fear, you're feeling that freeze response. We've talked about all of these so far in this series. It could be that you feel you don't have enough time. Whatever it is, there's probably a video in those daily lessons that's going to touch on that and will help you work through that so that you're ready to actually speak more. Scenario 2, you are tired of apps, but you just don't know what to do next. So maybe you got into language learning through an app. You started doing some Duolingo just casually, then a little bit more, and the next thing you know, you've finished the tree. You've done all of the Spanish and you're done. What next? What do you do when you finish Duolingo? Typically, and I'm speaking really broadly here, apps are very, very good at giving you something supplementary, something in addition to a more rounded language learning setup. And what they're not quite as good at doing is giving you a fuller picture. And they shouldn't necessarily fill that role. You need a bit of diversity in what you're using to be able to have a really well-rounded level of fluency. So the most common problem is people will do really well with an app and not be able to speak. If that's the case, this is what you need next. You need the Speak 28 by 28 challenge to help you find your speaking voice. Similar to point number 1, right? You've already got a bit of stuff going on. You've got the language that you've picked up from the apps, but you're not using it. This gives you a chance to use it. Scenario number 3, you've started and stopped and started again and stopped again too many times. There's a lot of different reasons for the stop, start model of language learning. And we can't get into all of them right now. But essentially, if that's the case, what you're looking for is consistency. You're looking for something that will give you stable and sustainable consistency. So you may have had consistency before, right? Perhaps you did have an app for a little bit and it was working and you had a good streak, and then you sort of fell off with that. And then you thought, okay, I'm going to start again. So you start again with something new. Maybe it's an audio course. You think I'm going to do 1 lesson every day, and it works for a bit, and then you fall off with that. The 3 F's of language learning. It's not flexible, fun, or functional. One of those or 2 of those or all of them is off, right? So with the Speak 28 by 28 challenge, like, this is my core principle of language learning. So as I'm designing this challenge, I'm thinking, is this flexible? Is it fun? Is it functional? Does this fit into your life? Does it fit easily into your language learning? I don't want this to be like something extra that has to feel like it's tagged on at the end of the day. No, this should be something that just slots in with your life as you're going now, right? So that's like really crucial, because it's something that I'm always thinking about. And from this challenge, in just 28 days, you're going to feel so much more confident when you're speaking, and you're going to have developed a solo speaking habit. Now, that is something that you can keep up. When I've ran this challenge in the past inside Language Life, people kept up with this. They were able to keep that habit. So this is not just a flash in the pan. It's something that can really, really stick for you. So if you've been in that stop-start model, this could well be the thing to help you break out of it. Scenario number 4, you feel awkward every time you open your mouth. If you really struggle with that consistent awkwardness around speaking where it just feels so uncomfortable, you need the challenge. We talked about this in a separate video in this series. I'll link the little card up here. I think that's the right side. The daily video lessons. There are so many different things that you'll be able to apply to help you feel less awkward when you're speaking. So maybe you feel awkward because you're hitting a brick wall and you don't know how to work around that word that you don't know. We've got a video about that. Maybe you feel awkward because you just feel embarrassed. We've got a video about that. Maybe you feel awkward because you can't fully express yourself and normally you're really funny. We've got a video about how to be funny in a foreign language. Trust me, we cover the whole spectrum of everything you could possibly want to know about speaking better. So if you feel awkward, your reason will likely be answered in those daily video lessons. And finally, scenario number 5, you secretly do want to speak more, but you're just scared of how it will sound. This is really not uncommon. The idea that we sound so weird to ourselves when we hear ourselves back on a recording. Trust me, I make videos on YouTube. I have a podcast. I hear my voice all the time. I know how weird it can be, but we're not going to move past that. We're not going to speak more if we don't get that practice in. In fact, you could record and never listen to it. Depends on the level of accountability that you want. And that's what I love about this challenge. Sometimes I feel that maybe challenges and things like this can be quite rigid and inflexible and not give you much space for personalization. But this challenge I've designed with that in mind. So you can either record and choose to listen. You can record and leave it and never go back to it. Or you can just speak out loud and never have to worry about hearing yourself again. You just need to get used to the practice of it and set aside the fact that it's your own voice and that it feels weird. And that's what this challenge is going to help you to do. So if you've been nodding along to any of those scenarios, the Speak 28 by 28 challenge is made for you. And I cannot wait to get started with you inside. There is not long left before we close doors for a little while. So join while you can. The link is in the description, or you can join and find out more at lindsaydoeslanguages.com/speak. And I can't wait to get started. Remember to subscribe here on YouTube as well, because there is one more video coming in this series to wrap up. And I'll speak to you then. All right. Bye.